All right, guys. So this is an isosceles triangle, and what an isosceles triangle is, I'm not sure if you have been exposed to this. You probably heard about it, but an isosceles triangle means that two sides, exactly two sides, are the same. Most people know that, but that also means that these two angles are also the same. Now, we're not really going to use the angles as much, um, but using the Pythagorean theorem, we could actually figure out some missing sides here, even though it's not a right triangle. All right. What we can do is, if I know, let's say I know the height of this. Let's say the height of this is 15 centimeters, and I know that the entire base is 10 centimeters, and I want to know, well, what are the sides? Um, if you look, this is not a right triangle. There's not a right angle. But what we have done, if I go from the vertex straight down, this creates a right triangle. All right. So what I can do here is I can retrace this right triangle. I know it's the same color. Bear with me. So I'm going to get my highlighter. And this now is a right triangle. Now I could have also just chosen the other side to do, but here I have a right triangle. This right triangle, which I'll redraw, has my right angle right here. So the side opposite this is x, and that represents my hypotenuse. I know this is 15 centimeters tall. So now what is this length? Well, 10 is given, but 10 is the entire length. Something you'll go in more detail in geometry next year. This bisects the base. When what that means, it cuts the base in half. All right, so this piece and this piece are exactly the same, meaning if I take 10, cut it in half, I get half of it here and half of it here, which means this has to be 5. All right, so now I have a leg of 5, a leg of 15, and a hypotenuse of x. One thing I want to note in my head, I know that this hypotenuse has to be bigger than 15 because it has to be the biggest value. So I'm going to do 5 squared plus 15 squared equals x squared. I could put c there. X, it doesn't matter what variable it is. So 25 plus, I believe that's 225. Let me just confirm 15 squared. I don't want to mess that up here. Yeah. 15 squared is 225 equals x squared. Add them, 250 equals x squared. So x first equals the square root of 250. This may be a valuable solution. X equals root 250. All right, that might be a solution. That's the exact solution, recall. But if I want to figure out what the estimated solution will be, x would be about 15.8. Maybe 8.1, depending on how far you want to round. All right. So that's how you can find a missing side of an isosceles. You can also, if you know all the sides, you could actually figure out what the height is. You just be looking for the leg. You could also figure out what the base would be. If you know what the slant height is and you know the actual height and you find this, that will tell you what the entire base is. Just don't forget, if you figure out what this piece is, in order to find the entire base, you would need to double your value there because the base is going to be 2 of them.